In 1995, the fortified armed nation of Outer Heaven suddenly showed up in the depths of South Africa. The US government received information that a terrifying new weapon was being developed in this stronghold. They requested Foxhound to confirm the truth. They infiltrated Grey Fox. However, a few days later he disappeared, leaving a mysterious radio signal named Metal Gear. The US government, taking the situation seriously, again ordered Foxhound to depart at that time. Big Boss, who was the commander-in-chief of Foxhound, entrusted everything to the newcomer Solid Snake. He had two tasks: rescue of Grey Fox, who had disappeared, and the destruction of the new weapon, Metal Gear, secretly being developed. While he was a newcomer, it was his first solo infiltration mission. Everyone felt he would struggle, but he carried out one difficult mission after another. Snake finally stumbles upon the existence of Metal Gear, a bipedal walking tank that is the heart of Outer Heaven. He finally traced the truth that Big Boss, the commander-in-chief of Foxhound, was the puppet master. Big Boss sent a new team member with the intention of failing the mission and reporting a cherry blossom to the US government side. However, Snake's abilities exceeded expectations, resulting in backfire. Snake destroyed the human-sized Metal Gear. He defeated Big Boss in a true form and brought down Outer Heaven. From this moment, he became known as a legendary hero who can make the impossible possible. But personally, I have some questions left in this story. Spoiler alert, Big Boss should have already known that Solid was a clone of himself. Even if Snake was an inexperienced young man, I think he knew a lot about his potential physical abilities because he was the boss of the Foxhound. I think there is still an element of uncertainty in selecting Snake for a mission, with complete operational failures and information cherry blossom purposes. Of course, it is certain that the government was already on the side of the Cypher and the Patriots at this time, and it is possible that they nominated Solid Snake. But yesterday Big Boss was against Snake. I gave you this assignment to bring back false information. But you did too much. I'm also saying that I've done too much. Well, this line is not from Big Boss himself. Regardless of which is true, there is no doubt that this case turned out to be what the Patriots wanted. After the incident, Snake removes the Foxhound and disappears. It may have been a big shock to Snake to be betrayed by Big Boss, whom he had taught and admired so much on stage, but this was just the beginning of it all. 199 Late Zero S, Kazakhstan Independence Armament International 4x State Independence Armed Fortress State. Zanzibar land abandons. Large industrial dismantled nuclear weapons. They kidnapped Dr. Keomouth, who discovered the microorganism Oilix, which can produce oil, and eventually became nuclear armed with the nuclear-equipped bipedal tank Metal Gear. Snake is once again forcibly summoned at the plea of senior figures in the US government and Foxhound commander Roy Campbell in response to the emergent threat. On December 24, 1999, he embarks on another solo infiltration to rescue Dr. Naomi Hunter and save the world from nuclear threat. As an accomplished soldier, Snake fiercely combats countless mercenaries and progresses deep into the base. However, standing before him is Grey Fox, a respected senior officer and trusted comrade in arms with whom he once fought at Fox Sound. As Fox, he has a past in which he was saved multiple times by Big Boss since he was a child, and out of gratitude and respect, he has pledged loyalty to Big Boss. Snake eventually defeats Grey Fox in a deadly duel, triumphs in an intense melee on a minefield, and witnesses his final moments. Well, I'm going to come back to life after this. Somehow I'm forced to revive him. That's it. He's going to be a bit of a role, he's going to be a bliblazaire. And Snake, who has reached the deepest part, Big Boss, who has appeared as a hunter in Zanzibar land. Snake will confront the real Big Boss Snake once encountered in the Outer Heaven, Metal Gastrit 5. The Phantom Pain commanding the protagonist Big Boss Shadow Warrior turned. It was Venom Snake. The true objective of Big Boss is from a military government organization to command the world by the AI ideologically, abandoning the Patriots and Zero towards a man who once fought as a friend. Boss revolted. My fight was just one. To liberate you in order to rid of the devil, in order to defeat Big Boss will defeat the Big Boss Snake, who doesn't yet know the fact says so, and with this one case, he comes to defeat Big Boss this time. With Oilic's blueprint in hand, Snake escapes by helicopter, but in his ability, Big Boss's last words kept echoing. Even if either of us wins, our battle won't end. The loser is freed from the battlefield, but the winner stays on the battlefield and the survivor dies as a warrior, living life to the fullest. It is a life. A nightmare that he couldn't shake off even after defeating Big Boss while carrying that curse. Snake had to live on. Snake would never smile again. And Snake towards the Alaska's representation vanished into oblivion. It all seemed to be over this time. But after this, Big Boss was recovered by Patriots by Zero's will. Big Boss was recovered by the hands of the Patriots. He was dying, and he was put into an artificial brain-dead state by nanomachines. It's preserved alive. Since then, the snake has been a trademark. You will be able to wear a bandana from Homebrew. The title will be solid. That's where the infinite bandana comes into play. It's going to be one of the strongest items. Spanda is the life of the infinite bandana. I want an infinite bandana of life, insanely, and the journey of Snake's life starts here, with the big thing that puts the meaning of your existence on the line. It's going to be a battle against the big ones, why I exist. And what do we fight for? His next stage is Alaska Fox Island Snake 2005 exercises were underway at the nuclear weapons disposal site built on Shadow Moses Island, off the coast of the Alaskan Fox Islands. The Foxhound Squad suddenly abandoned the Sons of Big Boss and called themselves the Ministry of Defense's military agency. They take the head of the DAPA Bureau, the president of the military company Armstech, and other officials hostage and carry out acts of terrorism. Their demand is the body of Big Boss, a legendary soldier who was once defeated by Solid Snake in Zanzibar land. The mastermind of the incident, who threatened to launch a nuclear weapon in 2 or 4 hours if he did not comply, was a brother, Liquid Snake. A man with the same snake name as Solid was a snake who lived a life as a dog sled in the latter half of Twin Lakes. Former Foxhound commander Roy Campbell forcibly summoned him by means of a kidnapping ship. This means infiltrating Shadow Moses Island, a nuclear weapons disposal facility where high-tech special forces Foxhounds and next-generation special forces have been de-armed. Snake was tasked with 2 missions. Donald Anderson, the head of the DAPA Bureau, who infiltrated the nuclear weapons disposal site alone and was held hostage, and the rescue of 2 people, Kenneth Baker, president of Armstech, and Merrill, the daughter of Colonel Campbell, who was participating in the exercise. Then, before infiltrating the terrorists, they investigate whether they have the ability to launch nuclear weapons, and if so, stop and disarm them. At the same time, Naomi also injected the killer virus Foxdie, a homicidal virus that causes the death of only those who have a specific gene. Snake was used as a vector for this Foxdie. Snake was in a hurry to move forward, yet he was confronted by Grey Fox, who was supposed to have met his end in the Zanzibar land upheaval. In his transformed guise, he was forcefully resurrected as a cyborg ninja by the Patriots to dance back into the world. Assigned with a role while still meeting with Snake for their reunion, he had to return from hell withstanding in the river of an unbearable torrent of blood. He meets his partner, Otacon. Supported by him and many others, he will engage in combat with the members of the new generation, special forces and members of the Fox and Corps, and will continue his deadly fight. In the latest part, under the desperate support of Grey Fox, he succeeds in destroying the Metal Gear Rex there. He learns the secret of his birth from another man titled Snake, who died in the incident, Liquid Snake. He would, in 1972 created by Zero, the cornerstone of the Patriots, a clone baby was created using genetics. The project was called The Terrible Children, Les Enfants Terribles, and the man whose genetic material was used in this project was Big Boss, the most celebrated soldier of the 20th century, using his large cell, using a woman named Eva as a surrogate mother, using analog cloning technology from the last century, and with the super baby cannon, the born children were twin snakes, Solid and Liquid. The 2 snakes, Snake won a hard-fought victory at the end of the intense battle. Liquid obsessively pursued him until the end, but he died from the onset of Foxdie in Snake's body. Snake, who could only feel life in the battlefield. Through this incident, I will live not only for myself, but also for someone else. Finding a new way to fight to leave a better future for future generations, I escaped with Merrill. After that, I joined up with the Otacon and others through the Gluck market. To eradicate Metal Gear's feet that have leaked cleaning technology around the world, I formed the Anti-Metal Gear Foundation Phelan Solipede. But the murderous virus Fox that saved him was sure of the threat I've been holding on to. Snake himself remains in a state where he does not know when he will develop the disease. Fox Die will have it hidden in his body 2007. The Anti-Metal Gear Foundation continued to destroy the feat of Metal Gear that appeared around the world, Snake, who has been active as an agent of philanthropy, the US. Marine Corps has developed a new Metal Gear Raider entering and taking out information that is to be transported secretly for the purpose of the expedition. Deploy a solo infiltration of a disguised transport tanker for the investigation. However, as if to coincide with the infiltration, the tanker was a former Russian on-ice soldier. It is suppressed by an armed group led by Olga Gorgovich Navy Armament Group revolver Ocelot, the end of a three-way battle across the amphibious Metal Gear Ray. The tanker sank. In fact, this incident was caused by a conspiracy of patriots. It turns out that the Ocelot was also a pawn snake is also based on the information prepared by the patriots. I was being led to the tanker, and from this incident, Snake and Man the Snake was framed as the one who sank the tanker. Snake was presumed dead, along with the sinking of the tanker. However, the snake that was raised at this time, the liquid body was used by the man's hand crank. The incident headed further into the depths of the darkness. 2 years after the tanker sinking incident, a large amount of oil was spilled in Mahata Bay. The Big Shell Ocean Cleansing Facility was built to treat it. In 2009, the plant was overtaken by an armed group called Sons of Liberty. This led to an incident. Solidus Snake, a deceased individual, held the former president of the United States hostage while he was inspecting the facility. He conducted anti-terrorist training with the Dead Cell, former counter-terrorism squad. They planted a large number of bombs in Big Shell. They demanded a large contribution from the government. If the staged bombs exploded, it would induce a fire disaster. One gun would witness the worst environmental destruction since Barbed Snake received information that Metal Gear was secretly being developed at Big Shell. And they decided to infiltrate. Posing as a government engineer, he infiltrated with the SEALs. At the same time, he sneaked into the interior with the man and later merged within Big Shell, in front of Raiden, the new protagonist of the plant arc. At first, he disguised himself as a member of Navy SEAL Team 10. He used an alias named Pliskin, which was quite colourful. However, later on he communicated via radio while conducting separate operations from Raiden. He proceeded with the disposal of the bombs and the investigation of the actual condition of Big Shell. After discovering that Big Shell is actually the new Metal Gear, Arsenal Gear, following the discovery that Raiden is used as a decoy with the help of Olga, this leads to the infiltration of Arsenal Gear, but they are unable to reach the truth. Ocelot escapes with Metal Gear Ray, bringing the incident to a close. Solidus is defeated by Raiden. The exposed child of Olga, who's been cursed by Patriot Snake, begins to move to rescue Sonny. However, due to the rapid aging phenomenon occurring in his body, he gives up on the rescue and leaves the remaining to Raiden. This leads to the pursuit of Ocelot. In this work as Old Snake, his appearance aged, given by Drebin and Otacon. Snake himself is calm, and when he is called this, his morale gauge decreases. When this snake was exposed, I was also surprised. In this work, with the fighter Normat, Otacon and Raiden rescue Olga's daughter, Sonny, together and live together. From the effect of gene manipulation, despite being in their 40s, their bodies have aged incredibly, even growing a moustache. During missions, a new sneaking suit that doubles as a muscle suit is used to supplement the diminished physical functions. Campbell receives information that Ocelot is leading the private military company Outer Haven to manipulate and abandon the world's PMCs in the shadows. Snake is tasked with exterminating him. Due to the rapid aging process, the Snake has only 1 year left to live, 2014, to put an end to the cause of the earthquake, the old soldier. Snake is back on the battlefield. The Ocelot, who was thought to be a pawn of the Patriots, execute the guns of the Patriot plan. They set out to remove the Patriots' control of AI systems. Snake returns to Shadow Moses Island, the setting for Metal Gear Solid, as he pursues Liquid as he seeks to get to the truth there. He appears in the Metal Gear X that he once destroyed and defeats the Metal Gear Array controlled by Liquid. It's a monster big war. Panda was very excited to be able to control that Metal Gear with his hands. In the final battle, you'll travel through microwaves that would have killed a normal human in a matter of seconds. Playing a fierce fight with the Ocelot was an extreme overuse of his diminished consternation. Successfully prevented a nuclear launch by E-Liquid by overworking. After that, Otacon used the Mark III to shoot in my Fox alarm. It all ended with the destruction of the entire AI network of Patriots, including JD. After the case is resolved, Snake settles his fate. I was at the grave of my father, Big Boss. Targeted virus that Naomi tested and remained in her body. Fox-D mutates and loses the ability to discriminate goals. Snakes, which were known to have a high potential to spread death to those around them without discrimination. To stop the threat after the Ocelot settlement, he tried to commit suicide by putting a pistol in his mouth at Big Boss's grave. That was his intention. However, before the hesitant Snake, there stood Big Boss, who was supposed to be dead. Snake receives the whole truth from him. The new Fox-Die has eliminated the threat of the mutant Fox-D. But the life of Eva Ocelot is taken by the new Fox-D, and the Big Boss in front of my eyes will also die soon. The new Fox-D too will eventually mutate, and I was told that Snake's own lifespan would end before that. Leaving the words, "Live the rest of your life as a human," Snake watches Big Boss die in front of Zaphos' grave, and decides to observe the world's pathway with Otacon, who decided to record everything and pass it down to future generations, in the novel version of Metal Gear Solid, Guns of the Patriots. He is said to have lived a happy rest of his life and slept peacefully. The timing is unclear, but by the time of Sonny's wedding, he was already dead. Perhaps he didn't fully live out the last of his life as a human being, not as a mercenary. Unlike other snakes, he held qualities of weakness and kindness. Soldiers weren't supposed to have these qualities, but he held a lot of them. A legendary hero who held the qualities of a hero statue that couldn't be discarded till the end. I would tell my friends who I met again on the other side, while many people admired me. Sorry to keep you waiting. Thank you very much for watching.